is on an island, is trying to disrupt the zoning system in Anambra. Some of them want to come to lie to us. How can anybody with brain, you think you are talking to fools? You come to people and say, I will do only one thing. Any politician who said that must be sent to a psychiatric home. Because the person must have some mental problem. When the Constitution allows you to stay up to 8 years, they come and tell us, I'm going to spend one term. Tell us where it has ever happened. Anybody who is saying I'm going to do one term is a psychiatric examination. Because you are taking everybody else to the fool. Anambra, we have advanced.
Barrister, I don't know if that audio was not that too clear. I don't know. Did you hear everything he said?
Clearly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was Governor Soludo of Anambra State. Now he basically was criticizing Peter Obi's for one term, single term, whatever. My problem, we'll be talking about this single term thing. We'll come back to talk about it on a different topic. But my focus here is, why is it? I don't get it. What is the reason behind Peter Soludo at every given time, any time he has the opportunity to do anything publicly, he finds his way to criticizing Peter Obi. He's one of the ardent critic of Peter Obi, and ironically, they are from the same state. For God's sake, why is this man an antagonist of Peter Obi? What do you think is the reason behind it? Jealousy? Envy? I don't get it. What is the problem? Okay, when he did it during the 2023 election, we just felt, okay, probably because he's then I just saw it as being envious, because he just felt Peter Obi was actually taking his spotlight, because he believes that he is the one that is supposed to be on that spotlight because he's a professor, former governor of CBN, and so many other academic achievements here and there. So he just feels entitled to that fame that Peter Obi received during the 2023 election. That was what I thought then. But why perpetrating such criticism? I don't get it. What do you think is behind this?
Well,
to the extent I don't get it. To the extent for someone said he wants to do one single term, and you just categorize that person as someone that is insane and has a psychiatric, he's mentally deranged or so. Nobody that you can't, according to him, you don't see this anywhere. This is unusual. This is not normal for somebody. I don't get it. Where is this? What that criticism? Such thought. What he just said was nonsensical, was stupid and foolish. I didn't expect it from someone like Soludo, a professor, economics professor, for God's sake, for him to say this nonsense that is completely not true.
Well, somebody said is the common problem of Igbo person jealousy of success of another Igbo man. And I tried to reflect. When I was young, my uncle told me a story. He was somebody who speaks Igbo much more fluent than the Igbo people themselves, because he had always lived in the Southeast. So he told me that in the early days, in the market, on market day, if the Igbo people come and buy the grains, they will give them the boys to sew the bags for them. So as they are sewing, another Igbo man will come and say, sell this one to me, knowing very well that his brother has already bought. But he's trying to make that other person's business to collapse. So he will quickly sell, they will sell to the next one. And when the other man who gave them to sew, because he's buying other bags, comes back, this person has already carried it. But if he wants to make trouble, they will now rise up and say, this is our market. If you want to, chase you out of the market. So I now remember Those stories I used to hear from my uncle then. Soludo came. He was supposed to be a high-flying Igbo politician. And people thought he's going to get into the front line.
Yeah.
And be the main Igbo politician on the national stage. Unfortunately, he became a governor to demonstrate that, but everybody saw him as very dull. He's a very dull person.
Yeah.
He's not passionate.
He's not charismatic even.
He's not passionate. He's not charismatic. He's not compassionate.
Yeah.
So his term has gone unnoticed, completely unnoticed. Yeah. You don't hear anything spectacular in Anambra State or about Soludo. So Obi has stolen the limelight, even though he is no more in public office after a long time. I think that has brought some measure of jealousy. And it is more difficult for him because if you, Soludo, now criticize Peter Obi that he didn't do anything in Anambra State, you have nothing, you have not done anything yourself. You are currently there and you have not shown any ability to do anything spectacular in the state. So he finds himself in a very difficult position. Look, when he's speaking, there's no charisma. There's no nothing, no activism.
No.
Nothing is attractive about him. But when you go back, when he was professor and then governor of Central Bank, the prospects were very high for him. People looked at him as, oh, this is the next Igbo politician of note. But he has managed to underachieve that status. So it's understandable when he comes to criticize or at every opportunity he tries to criticize Peter Obi. When you are talking of one single term, somebody says the Constitution did not say it is mandatory for you to do 8 years. There's nowhere the Constitution says that if you are governor, you must do it for 8 years. It's a term of 4 years. You have right to contest again or not to contest. It's your choice. And anybody coming to the national stage, the reality of the Igbo problem in Nigeria in terms of leadership, you cannot ignore it. So if somebody is thinking in those terms to break that glass ceiling, and he says, okay, let's just, even if it's for one term, let an Igbo person rule Nigeria, so that we will see that the wounds of the Civil War have been completely healed. I don't see how you can now categorize that person as a mental case, or you think the person is not thinking well. That thinking is far superior to what he Soludo is saying, because he is looking at a national politics, not Anambra politics. He's looking at national politics and how to stabilize the polity and how to fit in, how to bring Igbos into the mainstream. So I don't see how that kind of good and superior thinking anybody should criticize it in the way Soludo has done. And as you rightly mentioned, at every opportunity, he seizes it to try to, even when the matter does not concern him.
Honestly.
Because what he is doing now, when he was addressing that crowd, it had nothing to do with presidential election. Excuse me, presidential election in Nigeria. He had to find a way to circumvent and bring the issue of Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not contesting for governor of Anambra State. He's trying to contest. You are going for a rerun for a second term. Why would you now be bringing that in? Local politics may not be the same. The dynamics of the state politics may not be the same as the dynamics of national politics. So trying to smuggle that in, it doesn't make sense. And I'm sure the audience did not find it attractive.
Yeah, because even Peter Obi is popular in Anambra State.
They did not find his statements attractive or meaningful.